Aloha! Hey, it's Julie Ziemelis, 365 Hawaii with Real Broker, and I am here with
Lance Owens with LUVA Real Estate.
And we are here to do the August update for West Hawaii, the real estate market report, using July numbers and our own thoughts. And we will be getting in on the action. So also, you guys, yesterday, Amber and I did the East Hawaii market update, and because Eric was sick, we did a Zoom call, and then the people couldn't get on it because the Facebook page was glitching. So I do have Amber's update, which I will put on YouTube along with what we're doing with Lance today. Looking out over a beautiful day here in Kona, and wondering if things have changed in the market. Okay.
People want to know numbers. So let's jump into the number of sales. Again, for those new, Kailua Kona, we are in North Kona, the district. I've got all the 20 years worth of these reports on my website. They're all there if you ever want to look at them. Residential home sales, they are up.
Yeah.
46%.
Really?
46%.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, because the National Association of Realtors said that this is the lowest amount of home sales since 2008. Like it beat even 2008. So that means that consumer confidence has maybe returned to the market.
I think so. And you look, if I look at it year to date, because remember, you and I bantered back in May about
when May actually hit the wall. It's been proven, yes.
Like, and that was just on the condos and it wasn't on the homes. But we could be, making that up because condos are up 0.5% year to date. But month over month, they are also up. They're up 39%. Condo sales. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking that's pretty good. At least it means realtors are working in the town. That's good.
Yeah, things are going. So 39% in that, and then. Again, the 46% on residential homes. Year to date, residential 22, condos 0.5%. So
maybe it was so bad last year. Okay, but get this: is this month over month or year over year?
This is month over month.
Okay, because it was pretty dismal
because of interest rates and stuff.
Yeah. So okay.
So I always like to say, between 40 and 50 is a good number of how many sales there were a month, and there was 41. This month, this year, and 32 condos this year. So
this month, last month,
yes,
right,
yeah.
And then what about to date?
To date, excuse me, there is where's my to date go? Year to date, 260 this year and 212 last year.
Okay, so
that's on homes. Okay. On condos, it's 208 this year and 207 last year. So we're doing it.
I guess
we're moving along.
Okay.
It's crazy. Here's kind of the sad part, because I'm seeing more and more people priced out of here, and it just it's hard. You wonder who's buying and what's going on. So, median home price is up 60% over what it was a year ago, and median condo price is up 30% to what it was a year ago.
I thought the double-digit inflation was over.
Yeah. So if we look at last year, though, I think was the first time we went under $1 million. We had a pretty small dip last year, right? I don't know if you remember that. Like, it was a pretty big deal that we dropped under $1 million. It was weird. So this year, but this is the highest month I can think of. I don't know if you guys remember hearing this before, but median home price for last month was $1.548 million.
Yeah. Was it now?
No, I mean this.
Oh, this month is 1.5?
Yeah, July is 1.54, so call it 155. And condo median price, I don't know what's going on there. It's 750,000 is the median price for condos. So let's push it out to the year end, right? So I'm sorry, year to date. Okay. So year to date, we are showing a $1.3 million median home price, and for condos, we're showing a $672,000 median price. So,
I think that sounds more like it's really going on. Because, but I think that, we talk about statistics getting skewed from high-end sales. I've seen some, multi-million-dollar houses being sold.
Yeah, and they're being sold for cash. I have that number here, so what do we got? So, we're looking, what's our highest price? If this is condos.
$4 million for, is that what it says?
4.2 million, and it was seller financing and a loan. I was gonna say most of these are probably cash when you get into the higher ends. We got a $2 million cash one, 1031. So we had two of them up there. Homes. Talk about homes. Let's jump into that. So on homes, we're looking at 4.9 million list and sales price. It was cash. 15 million. It's sold for 13,750 cash. Where's the double? 9.25 million sold for 9.25 million cash, and 8.75 million sold for 9 million cash.
Which I think skews the numbers.
But we have this all the time.
Really?
We get this all the time. We'll get multiple homes in the millions, in the multi-millions, closing for that. So.
I'm just not listing them.
Yeah, I'm not showing them. I'm not listing them. That means
I need to
I'm
start
not
filming
selling
that
them.
stuff so you guys can see what the Poshmark looks like over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the way it is.
That's
so
the way it is.
I am seeing some homes that are coming up that need a little help.
Mhm.
I think deferred maintenance showing up now as people are deciding maybe that now's the time to leave.
Mhm.
So let's just see, because that'll be interesting if that does anything to the market as well. Because you know, that one that went on the auction for $650, and then
Yeah, that was no deal. I mean, that
yeah,
was,
at the end of the
that
day,
was,
just so you guys can like have like a little dissection of a deal. Lance and I were talking about this, that there was a house that was on the auction block. I guess they'd gone through foreclosure, and it went to auction.com, and it was originally posted for $425. And I got a chance to look at it, and it had some foundation cracks in it. Even though I was told that you can just fix that stuff. I'm like, okay, but water damage on the inside, you know.
So can I tell you a story about that, or I'll let you finish it?
Okay,
and I'll
so
talk about
but
the
basically, it went to the auction, and it went for $650, which the homes in that neighborhood are going for like $700, and there was more than $50,000 worth of damage in that house. And
Was there a lot of other stuff? That house has been on the market several times, which is interesting. I've seen that house turn over.
Yeah, in fact, the house right across the street from that, that's the house that was available when Eric and I were looking in that neighborhood. And I thought we'd walked in the back into that house because the whole back of the thing is done with lava wall. So it's very, and that was on sale. Like back then, it was like $325 or something. Yeah. But
For those that don't know, that's where I raised my wife and I raised our son there in that neighborhood. We loved it there. It was pretty good.
So you can get a single family home on a small lot for
postage stamp, 5,000 square feet, 1,000 square foot home.
Yeah.
Is $650 now today.
Yeah,
$700.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the houses there, I think, are around like $700.
Yeah.
And this one had a view of the ocean and stuff. So that's where kind of like our affordable housing neighborhood experience, because it's a smaller home on smaller lots. So. Yeah. But anyway,
I always think it's a bargain because it's got street lights, sidewalks, underground utilities. So there's no power lines or anything like that, and the hills aren't too bad. So you can go for a walk around the neighborhood. Yeah. You can teach your kid to ride a bicycle in the neighborhood, because it dead ends into three. There's 3 blocks that go down with a bottom street and a top street, and then that's it. It's enclosed, so there's only one way in and out. So there's no through traffic.
It's very quiet
I
there.
couldn't have thought of a better place to raise our son. So,
there you go. Yeah. So if you want more houses than non-commodity trees, let us know.
But so I'm going to talk about the spalling really quick, where I was going to jump with that.
Tell them what spalling is, because I know some people don't know what that is.
So spalling is on concrete structures, typically where the rebar has gotten moisture into it. The rebar is at rust, it expands. When it expands, it spits out all the concrete that's around it. It breaks it away and does things. So what I've been told in living there, and I've sold a lot of homes in there, is that they ran the rebar too close to the outside of the foundation of those. So it's that outside side of the foundation. It's not like the whole thing, but it's too close.
It's too close.
And it's blowing out the sides of the foundation. And they come in there and they bead blast all that stuff. They treat it with a chemical, and then they do it with a special concrete that will adhere to other concrete.
Oh, that's the fix on it?
Yeah, it's not that expensive. It'll last another 10 years, and then maybe you're doing it again. I don't know. I've done it to several homes when we sold them,
Okay.
And it's,
so would you call that?
It looks very, very scary.
Yeah. Is that like
holy shit,
would you say that's a construction defect though, to have done that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I did a little video.
It's real common
and people saw it on the group. If you were watching yesterday, the day before, it ran the entire side of the house. Yeah. Cracked. It was very scary.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if you didn't know any better, and if I was first time I looked at that, I'd say, whoa.
Yeah, something's bad with the foundation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, so
yeah, so
okay.
Little short story
Little
on
short
that.
story there. So
Let's talk a little bit about, like, we talk about how many are on the market. You guys remember a year and a half ago we were at 50 on the market, right?
Mhm.
So with condos right now, there's 132 active. That's the most active we've seen since the start of COVID, I think.
wow.
So it's
Do
going
you
up.
want to like explain why that might be happening?
Yeah. So a lot of it has to do with the insurance issues.
Mm-hmm.
So this is nationwide. It's probably not a surprise to anybody anymore. I think it was a surprise 6 months ago. It's not a surprise anymore. Insurance rates are going up across the nation, across the world, and it has to do with all the catastrophes. So um, we got hit extra hard, I think, more so than a lot of counties and states because we've been off the map. Today's the 1 year anniversary of Maui.
Yep.
And that though that's not directly related to it, but it put us on the map.
Right,
So,
and the insurance companies have started like thinking, if that happened over there, and these buildings are costing millions to replace, what's going on?
$4 billion
with everybody else?
settlement yesterday.
Yeah, $4 billion.
$4 billion settlement.
And so when the prices of all the houses shot up, they didn't reassess the value of the house, of the condos and the building. Is that what happened? And then ultimately
No,
they turn around
I don't
and say,
think
oops.
so. No. And people have told me that before. And these insurance adjusters go out there and they put a value on the condos. They
Right.
look at the stuff and they
Yeah.
do it, and that's their job.
But someone
So
said they were behind in doing that.
I've heard that too.
Okay.
And it possibly could be, but there's people when it comes to big commercial stuff like that they go and they will typically make sure there's enough insurance to cover the rebuild of it. So,
Okay.
and I'll just tell you personally, you've heard me say this before, but our personal insurance went up 87% this year. We're in a new home. No reason it should have went up. Our home's 4.5 years old. It finished just before COVID, so we have a tremendous amount, almost doubled our equity in our home, and we have. My wife and I look at it every year and make sure we have enough coverage to rebuild it because we know.
If it didn't happen, yeah.
Yeah. So it is. I know that ours didn't go up 87% because we didn't have it insured for the right value.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
So I can tell you firsthand that I don't buy that theory.
Okay.
It's just a theory that they've had so many catastrophes. They share this map from around the world. Have you ever shared that?
No, not the map. I've seen like obviously the ports that are costing all of us a bunch of money, Florida, California, but the governor today announced that they are going to have a statewide insurance program to help alleviate the crisis, but you have to be able to basically not get insurance anywhere else. They're going to come in for like an emergency experience.
Yeah. Last chance.
So that's like if you really are going to lose everything, at least they're going to try and like be a safety net. But I also was watching a program that basically said, and it's not funny because we own this house and you own your house and everybody in America owns. You guys might be looking. The cost of home ownership is going to go up because it's going to cost so much more money to do the insurance, right? That just the cost of buying a house and being in that. So, and somebody said at the conference that if the price of housing just keeps going up and then people can't afford to buy them, then the price has to come down.
Or nothing but corporations own them, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Somebody's told me that before, and I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I've proven their theories wrong. My candidate interviews that I just did recently, there happened to be a candidate that holds a real estate license that was basing it on that theory and said, you guys can't keep raising the prices.
Oh, we can't, huh?
Yeah, and whoa. First of all, we don't raise prices on it. The market does it. Well, the market can't keep going up on this because you know what a cap rate is, right? And that's you've got to what your costs are, what your expenses are, and what your income is, and it's got to be a certain percent for investors. And I'm like, you don't get it. And he's like, I was going to win the battle, but I was going to lose the war because he didn't get it. I mean, that's good on a commercial spot. Like nobody's going to come in here and buy a shopping center that doesn't have a good cap rate.
Right.
But they don't look at that on condos. Nobody woke up this morning and said, I want to move to Fresno because the cap rate is so good over there. But there's probably 1,000 people that woke up 20 minutes ago that said, I want to move to Hawaii. Yep. And so the cap rate on that just doesn't work here.
Right.
I mean, I've taught you, early on, it's just like if if somebody comes in and they want to put 20% down, want a cap rate of 8%, you know, and this and that's, like,
It doesn't pencil.
you're in the wrong city, you're in the wrong
Right,
state.
yeah, it just doesn't pencil.
It doesn't happen. With 50% down, and this is a good rule of thumb. It's not always. There's a unicorn out there somewhere,
Yeah,
and everybody
well,
wants you to find that.
Yeah.
But with 50% down, you're lucky to break even, just to cover your ownership costs.
Yeah.
That's you're lucky to do that 50% down.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, we were talking about the fact that because tourists kept showing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would just be willing to pay more and more and more, which would help offset the cost of home ownership with condos in the, you know, investment zone. And well, tourism slipped.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you bank on today and you don't think about the future and you think it's just going to keep showing up for you, sometimes that doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just a bag of fun today, aren't we?
No,
Jesus.
So, let me jump into the summary listing really quick. We took 132 active. How many last month of the 31 condos that sold for cash? Any guesses? 17.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Yeah, so half.
17?
Just over half. 17 out of 31.
Okay.
So that would be, what, 34 if it was half.
Okay.
So, I'm quick on math. And so we had 10 conventional, a couple of VAs, and a couple of miscellaneous. So
Okay.
I think it's important to look at VA loans. How many people can
Go in
buy
on
a VA loan? So
yeah.
there's 2
Yeah.
in the cash. So that's that. And we already said 132 active. So that's the most it's been. But it's almost close to normal. It's not a flood in the market.
Yeah. Okay.
In a normal market where we were running about 20% absorption rate, which is at the high end of a normal market, it would be at a sellers is 15 to 20% cap rate.
Okay.
15 to 20% is a stable market.
Okay.
Below 15 is a buyer's market. Above 20 is a seller's market. When we were running 135 homes, we were running 20% is what we're at. So it's
been a seller's market for like ever since you and I started doing this video.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming more of an even market.
No. Where did my number go? Sorry, I got to get back.
More fun news.
You're just turning it off right now. You're not even watching the end of it, are you? The absorption rate on condos right now is 30%. That's still a huge
seller's market.
But
you know what though, just to be on their side of this, you guys, there is a in the Lihilani right now. I don't know if it's still like 18.
Yeah.
18?
Well, I think there's 14 or 15.
Okay, so there's just people are just.
And
I'm not gonna say they're dumping their condos. They're just deciding maybe that the HOA fees are too much for them to bear, and so they're putting it out on the market. And then when you do see that many condos in one condo complex go in, there's room for negotiation even more.
Yeah.
So I've seen.
This would be a good thing to dive into with Delania on the 22nd.
Yeah.
The 22nd.
Yeah.
That'll be good to dive into that because it wasn't uncommon to see 10 to 12 listed in there at any given time. Remember? BC, before COVID.
I'm all.
Yeah, before there was
like maybe 7 or 8, I thought. I've never seen 14, 15 in there.
14, 15 is really high.
Yeah.
10 was the higher number, but it wasn't unheard of. This is a lot. And again, it has to do with this whole insurance thing because that price point is a lot of times is families or something, and there are people that are on fixed income.
Single, very retired women like my client.
Yeah, you have very reasonable HOA fees and a reasonable cost, and they're a nice complex.
Yeah,
it's well maintained. It's got two swimming pools, and
it's centrally located,
it's centrally located, well maintained. It was a great place for whatever. You know, work for families, retirement, single people. It just fit all of it.
Working class.
But when you take that and you hit them with $3,000 or $4,000 assessment, and you're jumping up now, their HOA fees a couple $100 a month.
Yeah, like $250 a month more.
Yeah, so when you're on a fixed income,
that's hurting people.
That prices you out.
Yeah, or stresses you out.
Yeah.
My person realizes now that she doesn't want to put her house on the market because obviously.
There's
too many. And so she is going to try and figure out maybe getting a second job. And so I had a beach barbecue last weekend, and we were talking about what your hobby is, and one of the women who I just got into a condo up at Condo Coffee Villas, and then the prices went up a month after she bought there. She said, my hobby is finding side gigs so I can afford to live here. I'm like, oh my gosh. And everyone's laughing, going, yeah, I know. Oh, and I'm like, So what we've heard is that this hit is obviously shocking this year. It's not supposed to be as bad next year, and they're going to try and even it out after that.
Right.
Is that kind of
but
how
it's
that's supposed to go?
And that's my understanding too. And I've been talking with legislators and things like that about it. And it is, it's not supposed to. It's not going to keep going up exponentially like this. It's going to, but it's not going to come down.
Yeah, you have to deal with
so
it.
the new rate is a new rate, you know, and hopefully, people, they've paid that assessment, and to just kind of talk about that really quick, because some of these places, I almost think honestly that assessment was better because you have your reserve set up in this for an emergency. This is an emergency, so some of them have taken that money and they've used it to pay these fees, and then they're raising the rates to have that reserve built back up within a couple of years. So I mean, that's what it's there for. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But some places have said we need these reserves for upcoming projects.
Right. We can't just all of a sudden take it in the shorts on this insurance hit. And I've been showing. I have 2 clients looking at condos in Michael Village in here, and that's the first question now you ask the agent. What's the story with the assessment? What's the story with the HOA? And a lot of these different clever ideas, a little reserve, a little asking the people to pay for part of it. All reserves are all hitting the people. One time we're taking it to December, whatever. So it's, if you guys are in the market for a condo, definitely look. I did find an outline, like, I went all the way through the thing, but it was in the private remarks. I think more and more the public remarks are going to have a little bit more of that, because people need to figure out, what can I afford? I need to know what's happening here. Yeah. So, another thing too, if you're not using us, make sure that you talk to the person that you're dealing with to understand what you're about to get yourself into.
Yeah.
And look at the reserve study.
First thing I do too. Have you gotten the new insurance?
Yeah, have you gotten hit yet?
Yeah, and if you have, what have you done about it? And if you haven't, how are you preparing for it?
Yes.
And most of them are deer in the headlights when you say, how are you preparing for it?
If they haven't figured it out by now.
Yeah.
Because almost every one of the complexes that either I've sold people into or have been showing have already said, we're doing this. So it was almost like across the board. Because I thought maybe after 1 year of them doing the thing, so it'd come up over amount of time, where it seems like almost everybody has an answer of what they're going to do at this point right now. Maybe it hasn't exactly hit, but when Condo Coffee Villas, they gave their people 1 month notice that it was going to go up.
A huge assessment.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've seen some of them get creative and borrow against their money so that they didn't get hit. And low interest rate when you're borrowing against your own money, and then they'll get it paid off next year, so that our rates are immediately going up. Yeah. And that's not a bad idea. I just worry about the ones that jumped in and took that reserves, because if something else happens, those reserves are gone and you've already tapped the people for it. So I don't know. We'll see. See how it shakes out, right?
Yeah. This is one of those. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So what else? We did the condos. We did not talk about the homes. So the 40 homes that sold last month. How many do you think?
In our bouncing experience of trying to get the stats done.
I'm gonna have Eric here saying,
come on.
Hurry up, come on.
James Porter going like this.
I don't see any more messages from him either, so I hope we're doing good, James. So 40 homes sold, 23 of them were cash, and 13 of them were conventional financing. 0 VAs done, and then a few other miscellaneous things.
So there's cash showing up here.
Yeah, we're still 50% cash.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, the people I'm seeing who are moving here, and maybe this is my demographic, people are selling their houses on the mainland. They already had a clear definition of what they were going to do to get here. They've got investments, they've got Social Security, they've got pensions, and they sold their house, they have cash, they're coming in, and they're going to make it happen.
Good.
So
that's you got your goals, you make them happen.
Yeah. But I'd like to see younger people not, and that's what I said about what happened with Honolulu. How are you going to get into the housing market if you have to spend half of your income on HOA fees? Yeah. So but we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
And I think they're worse here. I think we're seeing a bigger problem with them here than they're seeing.
Well, they've got those 14-story condos, 30-story condos.
Yeah,
Can you imagine if you have spalling in some of that? I think there's more ability for catastrophic failure if you don't take care of your building in Honolulu than here. Even though, even if you're on the third floor down at Condo High, if your spalling is going to make it so that you have to completely retrofit the front of your building, that's not cheap.
So one of our clients that just came active today, their condo, they're moving from here to Florida.
Oh.
And so it's kind of interesting.
Well, that's a smart move, but yeah, that's fine.
They're probably watching us.
Yeah.
And just put a plug in for that condo. It's a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath, Kona Sea Villas.
Not Ridge, but villas.
Yes. Yeah. And it is listed at $789. It comes with its own garage, and this place is immaculate and beautiful. So if you're looking for something with a garage, it came out on preview last night. We did get an offer this afternoon.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we will see what happens with that.
Okay. Marcus cooking for you.
So things are going good. Yeah, it's a condo. First day out. It wasn't even out. It was on preview. So.
But that hits your median price of what you said it was, basically what the median price of a condo was. That's basically what you put your house, the condo on. 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in a nice complex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, gated, ocean views. Check it out. If you need, just leave a message below.
He always takes backup offers.
Always taking backup offers. You never know in this market.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's good. Congratulations. Okay, so real quick. We haven't totally blown your time already, you guys. Just wanted to let you know, August 17th is a big day in the real estate industry. Changes are already being made. The buyer's representative agreement.
Yeah, so pretty much, really the official across the nation date that needs to comply with the Department of Justice, DOJ, settlement, which has not even been approved yet, but that was...
well, everyone's moving towards getting things handled now.
So technically we have, as of yesterday, stopped putting any CSB on the market. So...
you don't know what that means.
The brokerage, the seller's brokerage will typically, the way it's been done for the last 100 years, is the seller's brokerage will talk to the seller and come up with a price and come up with a commission that they're going to list it for. And what they've typically done is they say, well, I'm going to pay the other side a certain amount of what I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid this, and I'll take care of the other side. And that's how it's traditionally been done. So sometimes the buyer grumbles on paying for everything, but then when he sells it, he's going to buy a home somewhere, and now that seller's paying for everything. So at the end of the day, it's all even. It's always equaled out, and it's a way that you can get your costs and things financed. So it changes, and it's already changed here because they just pulled those numbers off.
We just found out today. They just pulled the CSB off the
yesterday,
MLS today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they put all these new trigger words on there. Like I tried to put up a new listing yesterday, and it wouldn't let me go because you're not allowed to put it hidden, private marks, anything, how much you're willing to pay the other side. You can still pay the other side. You just can't tell anybody. So now I don't think it's good for the consumer. People are going to be making deals in back rooms. How much are you going to do if I bring this buyer to your place? And before they wanted it all out in the public, we did that, and now they're saying that's not working.
Yeah, they call that collusion.
Yeah,
but that's not really what's going on. We call that a marketing fee, actually.
Is it? Well, let me just ask something. If you called every plumber in town, are they all going to have about the same hourly rate?
Yeah, because it's called.
It's what it's worth. It's what their time's worth. It's what their value is. If they could do it for cheaper, somebody would be out there needing to do it. That needs money, needs to make a paycheck.
Well, that's what those flat rate agencies were doing. Yeah. They were able. They said we'll just charge you 1% if you're a seller, and we will put it on the MLS. And we'll put a sign in the yard, and you take all the phone calls. Yeah. And I'll do the contract, but you do everything else. Yeah. And as limited service agencies. They wouldn't do the contract. Wouldn't. Who's supposed to do the contract? Who's supposed to do that? Yeah. So that's another thing that they I learned in my little conference in Vegas is that a lot of people, the consumer, doesn't realize the level of work that goes into the back end of an agreement and also the transaction, because it's always been our job to kind of shield the buyers and sellers from all the crazy that goes on in the back end of the transaction.
I'd love to have you there at 11 o'clock at night when I'm just going back and forth.
And having to deal with a lot of weird shit. Like, the termite companies, the tile companies, whatever. There's always a lot of stuff. But I've noticed since getting into this industry that I didn't even know the drama. Because I was doing the marketing, and it wasn't until I became a realtor that I realized there's a hell of a lot of drama that goes on in the mix. Yeah. And it's been hidden from the consumer. Yeah. And so they said we've hit it so well that the consumer doesn't realize the value of a realtor. So the new way things are going to be is that realtors are going to start defining their value. They're going to say, here are the systems I use to help sell your house, Mr. Seller. Hey, Mr. Buyer, we're going to go through the different contracts because it's important for you to understand.
And they've always done it for the selling side because they've had to sell their services. So now they want it done on the buyer side, and so that's what's got to happen now. And there's a lot of education that comes out there. But what that means to you is agents officially on the 17th, but most of them have already started and they're doing it. But on the 17th, no longer can we show you a house, even on a virtual tour, take you through that house, and without a buyer's agreement being signed. It has to be. It's not our brokerage rule. It's not my rule. It's an agreement with the Department of Justice and the settlement and things like that. And that, like I say, that hasn't been approved yet until November.
But they're already doing
it's
the thing.
taking place.
Yeah. So
it has to take place now to make sure it's in effect when it gets approved.
Right. Yeah. So but I did want to say is that you can sign an agreement for a day, a week, a month, 6 months. So it's negotiable in terms of timing if that's what you want to do, but it must be signed because realtors can actually lose their license if they start doing this without using an agreement. So that's the big
one. Not law.
Not law, but brokerage law. Like it's decided that all realtors who belong to the National Association of Realtors are working together in cooperation to do this as a way to like tell the Department of Justice that we're all on board. Right?
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's what's changed. When they were talking about this in the conference about showing value, I'm all, who's been showing value for how many years? Providing education for all of you guys. And you know what? I'd say you guys that the books I've written, the information that Lance gives you guys, you know, there is value there, and you will do us a very big favor if you say, hey, when I want to buy a house on West Hawaii, or up and down the coast, use Lance, use me, use one of my referral partners, even in East Hawaii, because we bring the info on a consistent basis that you guys can use to make intelligent decisions about your buying process.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just defined my value.
Yeah, it's important because some of these people felt loyal to somebody that may have put them on an email that's been sending them automatic emails for a few months, and they feel loyal to them. But what have they done to educate you? What is it? And there's some other that do really good jobs, so I'm not putting it down. I just want to make sure that you look at that value and you look that they've done it, that they've been doing it for years. And I don't know how many times that we've shown somebody something that they didn't buy because we showed them things that was like, okay, you got all the pretty pictures here, but let me show you underneath this sink. Let me show you over the fence. Let me show you the road noise. Let me show you things.
Upcoming legislation that might hamper what you thought was going to happen on that place. All the stuff. I'm telling you, one thing I love about Leon is that he brings in all that legislative issues. That he sits there and volunteers his time to go sit on a variety of different committees. He goes sits in Washington D.C. You're not going to get better information about what the hell's going on in the industry than this guy. And I'm next to him. So, so if he's busy.
We have worked together for so long with just, like you say, for the years before you got your license, the years of bringing it to the public.
Yeah.
So you're super knowledgeable on it too, because you're the one that brings it out. Without your vessel to get it out there, people wouldn't have it. And it wouldn't be able to show my value as much as they'd be doing it on a one-on-one basis, where we've done it now for thousands.
In fact, what we're going to do too, so you guys can see a little more value that we're adding, when you join us for the overall market update, the people who are going to be on that call, including our mortgage broker who tells you guys all the stuff that's happening in the mortgage industry, the agents are going to be able to tell you what's coming on the market and what's on the market. So that way they'll also get the chance to see the realtor say, I've got this for sale right now, and I will put that information about that house in the description so people can actually see what's on the market that our partners are actually selling.
Cool.
So that way you guys can, the realtors can say, hey, I want to just give us an opportunity to market this property, and then you guys get a chance to say, hey, I really like that, and I like that person, I want to work with them.
Yeah.
Right.
And a little side note, I hinted to it a little bit earlier, but we have, so one of our clients from here that we sold 2 years ago, is the one that just came out today that we've got an offer on already. And somebody else has been watching us for quite a while. We have been given verbal that our offer is going to get accepted.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yay!
So, and I was telling you a little bit about them on last month's thing, you know, that we did a Zoom call and they're from the group and they're doing their things. So, hopefully that comes through because we did get text message that that the person was going to sign it. It's out for signature now to accept our offer.
That's fantastic.
So I hope you guys are watching, and just in case you are, I'm gonna see if that email came in. I'm gonna look to see. Don't say their names out loud.
Okay.
I have not gotten it yet.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys an exciting moment for a realtor is when it's out for signatures, and then you get the idea that says, "Yes, our offer is accepted."
Yeah.
So if you'd like that answer of your offer was accepted, make sure you get a hold of us. We'll have our information dropped into the description below for people on YouTube, and everybody on the group knows how to find us. And go ahead and leave your messages to us in the behind the scenes, or you can reach out to us directly through email. But I also on the Facebook group, a lot of people will see this tomorrow. So if you're watching this later and we haven't put you to sleep so far, you can also drop some comments in the comment experience if you guys have questions, and we'll go ahead and answer those as well. So also real quick, I'm also creating a new, I've always done the events calendar for the island. Putting those out on a monthly basis, showing value. I am asking people if they want to be alerted to what is happening for events on Hawaii Island, or want to know about some of the events that we're holding for 365. Give me your address and I'll get you on the spreadsheet, because I'm determined to get these spreadsheets handled so we can get more information out to the people who want to get it.
I'll have to share. I wrote a blog.
Okay.
It's one of the ones sitting in my library. I haven't published yet, but it's on the 30 top events happening in the Big Island on a yearly basis.
Oh, so that way they can know what festivals are coming up.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
valuable.
won't do a monthly thing like you do.
I know.
But I did put
I have
together.
an assistant to help me with that. So.
Yeah. But I did put it together,
Okay,
and I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Because you'll put it more.
Yeah, but I'll put it on speed, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we will see you guys. If you guys want to tune in, it looks like Lance is actually getting on his way to Chicago for the TTT.
I think I'm going to miss the TTT. I didn't buy my ticket yet.
No, you should buy that.
But I'm supposed to check in on the 23rd.
Okay, well, if you have any other listings that come up between now and 2 weeks from now,
send them to you.
I'll pop it out there for you. And then if you guys want to make sure that you are on the Ohana over in YouTube land, go to 365hawaiiliving.com and join the Ohana. And you can have all kinds of really cool resources, including my books. And I will also, once again, if you're over here, if 2 people have decided, I'm giving these away.
Yeah.
And
if
also
they
in YouTube land, if whoever got to this point in this video and you want one of these, look at they're metal, they're great, they're cozies. I mean, wine coolers. I will give you one. So let me know. And with that, we say
thank you.
Aloha.